Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 20th. Um, so for the next few days, Wednesday, today, tomorrow, Friday, just a reminder, we will not have a Devo Monday. But then it should be Tuesday through next Friday to kind of close us out. We are going to talk about unity. And one of the main scriptures we're going to look at is Ephesians chapter 4. A chapter that Paul wrote to the church in Ephesus. And we're going to kind of take it verse by verse. So I'm going to start off at Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1. It says, I, therefore, a prisoner for the Lord, urge you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling to which you have been called. If you think about anybody in Scripture, really other than Jesus himself, who really knew what it meant to walk in a manner worthy of his calling, it was Paul. I imagine if he were alive today, he would have stories to tell, because I think he saw the absolute worst side of humanity. But he was given insight into a world that few have really ever seen. The way he writes about Jesus in his letters is remarkable. And I think what can we learn from a man who experienced troubles, um, really and suffering comparable to, the sufferings that Job had. I think Paul shows us that his current state of imprisonment is for the glory of God and the advancement of the gospel. He knew the cost in order to follow God. He knew what it would take. And Paul's focus was to show us what it means to walk and ultimately how to walk worthy of your call. I can't walk haphazardly and expect that God will be pleased with my steps. To really walk in a manner worthy of our calling, no matter what that calling is more about whom we walk with rather than where we walk. Where Paul went was far less important than who was with him. It may sound familiar, it may sound cheesy, but our purpose and the highest pleasure in life is to walk with Christ. To walk worthy with the King really is no small arbitrary task. It's not something to look past. It's not something to, to think, that's fine. I can do whatever. But it's the journey and the calling to which we are called. It's the point of our life. If you find yourself in a place of disunity, it could be with parents, it could be with friends, with other people. A good question to ask is this: have you truly been walking with God? Over the past 10 weeks, have you been unified with God? Have you taken the time to be in a relationship? Because if you haven't, I think today is a great day to start. And so my challenge to you is this: walk worthy with God. Start today if you need to start. And I'll see you tomorrow.